It
Ooh, big yawn over there from Daniel. How you doing this morning, Daniel?
was a wild night last night. We had a blackout.
No way.
Yeah, blackout in rehab.
Do they have a generator?
No, no, we were just in the dark for like an hour and a half.
Whoa, that's nuts.
Yeah, it was wild.
Were people
Luckily,
panicking?
yeah, it felt that way. I mean, but like people will freak out here at like the tiniest inconvenience. So like, it was bound to happen.
Were people
Luckily, my
clanging mugs on like bars? It sounded like a prison.
there are no bars
There are
here.
no bars.
No, no.
Oh,
But I had all my shit charged, so I
good.
was all right.
That's always the worst. It guts
Yeah,
out. You have 30% on your phone. You're like, oh
I
no,
know. That is
I gotta
brutal.
read now. What's going on here?
I did read, but I read it on my iPad.
What are you reading?
Mhm. I'm in the middle of an Avengers run from the early 80s.
Okay, I forgot you're still doing that.
Yeah,
You're still in the early 80s.
I'm at 82.
I feel like that's where you were a few months ago.
Bullshit. I was in like the 70s.
When did you start? The 60s?
I started 1961.
Oh, okay. My bad. I think I thought you started in the 70s at
There's a
first.
lot of comics, man.
Right. But you're only reading Marvel, right?
I
You're not.
know, but I'm reading them all.
Yeah, that's crazy. These are
Mhm.
ones you have already read,
Some, but not most.
so you already knew stuff.
Yeah,
It's very exciting.
yeah.
What's your
It's
favorite revelation so far? Your favorite find?
I just got up to the well, I'm in the middle of like Iron Man, like dealing with his alcoholism, which is great because I'm in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we just got introduced to the character Jeff Bridges plays in the first movie. And I like I've never read any comics with that character, so that's exciting.
Right. Forgot his name. First villain ever, though. He'll always
Yeah.
have that.
Obadiah Stane.
Yep. True.
Hmm.
He was building parts in a cave. That was like some line he had at one point, I remember.
Okay.
Uh, all right, we're here to get into Survivor. A great week of episodes, three more episodes. Apparently, we'll see what happened.
I,
I only watched three more episodes.
yeah, I think.
Tell me, so these are the people that I watched to go home:
Uh,
Geo, Ellie, and Dwight. I feel like you
I
mentioned
watched.
somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. See, I didn't watch that Geo episode.
Oh, you flat out skipped the Geo episode.
I watched Ellie, Dwight, Janine.
Yep. I got to the end. Janine was still there. I was like, I swear he said Janine went home.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm one ahead. So next
Okay.
next week we'll do 8, 9, 10, and I'll only have to watch 2 episodes.
That's right. That's what we'll do next week. Sounds
All right.
great. So you what? You didn't watch? You just skipped the Geo episode?
No, I must have watched it. I must have been like blackout drunk by that point.
That was the end of the night for you.
Yeah,
Geo.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's what happened. I guess we'll go through that episode.
Okay.
Uh, episode
Who's
five.
Geo?
You remember Geo?
No.
You did this last week too. He's
Oh,
the
he's
one
the
you
homeless
texted me
one?
about. You were like, I really like Geo.
The
And
homeless
then
guy.
twice forgot about him.
Yeah, 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 I got it. The name isn't memorable, but the character was
How
interesting.
many Geos do you know? I feel like that's memorable.
I don't know, it's just Giovanni, right?
Maybe. It's Geo. I feel like Giovanni's
Oh,
Gio.
that's a good point. Geo.
Bustamante. That's
Wow,
his name.
he's gotta just be changing it for the sake of changing it because
You think that's
Bustamante
not
sounds
real?
like his first name would be Giovanni.
Yeah. I wish it said on his profile. I could probably Google him and figure it out. But I'm sorry. All right. So we've Ellie and Janine found a beware advantage. That sort of came into play because Janine ends up giving it away to Dwight. Dwight gets voted out with it. And then I guess Janine at the next tribal council gets voted out that I haven't seen yet.
You know
So
what's funny about Ellie and Janine
what?
is that they're both attractive, but they always look terrified, like at all times. Like Ellie's just got these like bug eyes, like she's scared,
Yeah.
and
She
Janine
got hit
just
on the chin.
yeah,
Janine.
yeah, I know. And Janine just she's always looking back and forth, like, what? Huh?
Absolutely.
Is everything okay? Yeah.
This is a good call. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry about that. I was gonna say I'd like to see like one of them play again, but Ellie was so bad on this watch through again. She sucked going through Gabler's bag and trying to deny it to his face when like Sammy told him, and her whole thing of like, uh, I just really want to like well, I forgot what her excuse was. It was so bad, and then her at like she just felt she was so much smarter than everybody. I thought.
Ellie's one of these people that I bet if you talk to her about Survivor, she has some like really interesting shit to say. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you like had her as a guest on like Know It Alls or something, like she'd probably be good at that.
Right.
But she's really a Monday morning quarterback. Like once you put her out there, she just doesn't have it. She's too panicked. She doesn't have the temperament for it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was, if it was that tribe she was on or what.
I don't know. I feel like it would have been the same anywhere.
Because she seemed like she was close with Owen and Sammy, like those were her guys, but Sammy just liked Gabler more than her. So that's
Everyone
bad.
likes Gabler more. It's sort of wild how popular Gabler is. Like I saw Gabler at the beginning as like a what was his name last season? Frank?
Mike?
Mike. Like a dude who could like make it far, but like no one was gonna give him a vote at the end. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Gabler could get votes at the end.
I like that challenge he had where he's like, "This is for my buddy in the military." I think
Oh,
that was like
you got up to that one?
a
Yeah.
turning point for him. That was a nice
I
moment.
yeah. I mean, and it felt like something if I was there, I'd be fucking rolling my eyes out.
You
But
think so?
yeah, but they all seemed like impressed. And Jeff loved it.
I thought it was nice, honestly.
All right.
He seemed really genuine, and he like remembered the people he did the surgeries on. He was like, I did this surgery on this date for this guy. I was like, whoa, you're like a really caring guy.
Some of them were cool. I really rolled my eyes when he was like, "This one's for uh
I got them
fucking
all later.
no, what's her name? The
Noel.
Noelle. Yeah. Yeah, when he was like, "This one's for Noelle. She's been inspiring me since day one." Like, shut up.
Yeah. It was only one of the 8 shout outs. It's okay. But
I like the one that was for his dog or whatever.
my dog. Yeah, at
Yeah.
first I thought he was like, my dog, shout out to
Yeah,
my
I
dog.
thought so too, but no, it was literally his dog.
He said my furry faced friend or
Yeah,
son.
his son. Yeah.
Also, Gabler, I think that saying that Ellie went through his bag added a certain amount of sympathy to him. Like
I know.
I would be like, oh, well, that's horrible, Gabler. Oh my God, that happened to you? And
But
then
he
I'd
like
start working with
he
him.
throws her under the bus at that merge feast. Like I'd be questioning this guy, but like everyone else is
Oh,
like,
see, I didn't. I took that moment as the opposite. I thought he was a victim. I'm like, oh, Ellie's the bad guy. Holy shit. That's how that's how I felt.
doo 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 doo. I was doing Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Oh, I thought that was the X-Files music.
No, no. See, Gabler looks most like someone that would be here in rehab with me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. There are a few dudes like in the Gabler genre of human being here.
It's the beard though. They showed him in the emergency room with just the mustache, and I was like, "Oh, you look like a real authoritative guy. Like I would
Oh
listen to you
yeah.
in the emergency room too."
Mm.
It's the
No,
chin
no, it's for
stuff.
sure the chin beard. Yeah.
The mustache he looked cool, I thought. I think it looks cool regardless. But we've got an immunity challenge. Oh, Sammy tells Gabler. He's like, they opened the beware thing and they do the bead thing yet again. Give me your beads, guys. And Gabler does it, and then Sammy's like, Gabler, you just gave her an idol. And Gabler's like, what? That sucks. So we go to a challenge for a tarp, and where you roll some balls up a thing and land it in a thing. Very Big Brother to me. Um, Blue end up losing. We have a Journey, Geo, Janine, and Jesse. And Geo goes there and says, "Guys, I'm on the bottom." Tries to scare him off, risking their vote, but then they all risk their vote. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know how they all decided to do that.
It's so frustrating that I still don't know what we're talking about.
The Journey.
I know, but
Well,
see,
this episode you skipped,
I
remember?
can't ever drink again.
Or you? Oh yeah, you were drinking in
It's
this one.
fucking it tears my life apart. Like I can't do anything.
This is what made you realize that when you missed the Geo episode of Survivor.
I did go into rehab the very next day.
That's when you're like, I gotta see Geo go home. I can't be missing these great moments of my life. Uh, so
That's why, like, I was home Monday. Like in hindsight, I was like, why couldn't I do the podcast on Monday? And it's like I
mm,
must have just been like fucking. I must have fallen asleep like 4 in the morning, blackout drunk, and like couldn't wake up an hour later.
I think this proves that's what happened.
Yeah,
Not knowing the
yeah,
Geo episode.
fucking hell.
But Geo gets back, and he does end up getting the power. They draw things out of a thing. It's a 1 in 3 chance, and he gets the knowledge as power. But then he immediately tells Carla, and they just vote him out at tribal council. They go to tribal
Oh
council and they
yeah,
vote Geo out.
I sort of remember that.
Pretty amazing.
Carla.
Carla and James are running this tribe. They're really good together. They're like Shannon Ricard a bit.
Who's
How
James?
he's the guy with the short with the little wonky eye and the my name he has like a crazy voice. Did I just say what race he is to you so you know?
Black guy?
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that'll always help you out. All I have to do is say that and it'll help you. I feel
Well,
like is he the
it's
only
because
black
it
guy this
narrows it
season?
down. It's not that like I'm obsessed with
Yeah, we're
race.
still at the point where we only have one black guy. There's
Daryl,
Ryan. Is he black?
Daryl,
Who?
Daryl.
Daryl.
Isn't there a Daryl?
There's no Daryl.
No.
What are you watching with Daryl?
Who gets voted out after Ellie?
Oh, Dwight.
Dwight. That's who I
Daryl.
meant.
Darrell. From the challenge.
Yeah.
So we go anyway. We vote out Geo. Goodbye, Geo. And then we'll get to the Ellie vote called Mergatory. Do you remember who came
Yeah.
up with the word Mergatory?
Yes, it was Cassidy. I was very happy for you.
No, somebody in a previous season. This is a ripoff.
Oh, it's a ripoff.
It might not be a ripoff. It might be homaging.
Okay.
Homaging.
Well, Cassidy
What's that
said it in
word?
the episode. I don't know. Paying homage to.
But I've heard homage. I,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
All right.
Have you heard that? Homage?
Yeah, I've heard homage. It's not
Is that this?
homage.
I, I'm saying it weird. But that they're meaning homage when they say that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
It's just like making it Americanized.
It's weird.
It's like when
Anyway,
people say like croissant.
not what movie did we watch recently? Oh, Den of Thieves 2, where Gerard Butler learned croissant. They
That's
taught him
right.
because he
That's
said
right.
croissant
Yeah.
at first
Fucking moron.
because he's British and doesn't know how to talk. But no. A previous season, Mergatory. This was a Xander thing. Xander's like, I guess we're a Mergatory, and then that stuck. Now
Any excuse to bring up Xander, you
you
will.
know it. Oh yeah. So we get tree mail.
Woo-woo.
Oh, you wear a CM Punk shirt. I
Yeah,
love that. Straight Edge, CM Punk.
that's right.
A lot of tree mail sightings this season. We've got one here. I love tree mail. That always been one of my favorite parts of the show. But James comes up and drop your buffs. We're going to the merge. Pretty fun. I want to know how you felt about this. Owens has a confessional. You like Owen?
Yeah, he's all right.
Owen's cool. He says, I wish we had a lower third to let me know everybody's what everybody has idol wise. And then
Yeah,
that's we get a lower third that says,
I thought it was clever enough editing, but it just showed me how fucking useless the game is now. Like it's such a shitty game. Like
Yeah, it's
all
bad.
everything that's in play right now, like how is that conducive to all it is all they want is like chaotic tribals.
Hmm.
That's but like there's a whole other part of the show. You
Hmm.
shouldn't have to have a lower third for me to keep up with your game. I'm a grown man. I'm smart. I'm a college graduate. I've watched 40 seasons of this. Okay. I should be able to follow what everybody has.
Yeah, they used to do it used to be like one thing on each beach and then like a merge thing. So there would
Yeah.
be like two or three things coming into the merge. There were
And you
six.
always know you're like that guy is special. He has something.
Well, not everybody still knows because people still tell everybody what they have very
No, no,
stupidly.
no. I'm saying like the audience. Like
Oh,
you
right.
you follow it and you're like, oh,
Russell's got the idol.
yeah, Russell. I have to remember Russell. That
Russell's got this idol. JT's got the other idol.
right. It's very easy to keep track of that sort of shit. Like this is just nonsense.
Total nonsense. But that you say there's a second part of the game, but now there's not. It being 26 days, that this is the game. This is like all the game is.
There is no game.
Well, this is the game. Now, there's not like the social aspect as much where you have to like, who do I want to lay on the beach with for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, and then that to me is one of the more interesting parts of Survivor.
Of
Like
course.
to me, Survivor of all the reality game shows was the most elegantly designed game. It's a really clever game, and
Mm-hmm.
that game doesn't exist anymore. No one's playing it.
Mm-hmm. I like Big Brother the game more. I've always said that. But and I think we got a good example the last Survivor season where it was pretty boring and people were
Big,
like, "Ooh, this is pretty boring."
Big Brother is a great game, but it's not as elegant. It's unwieldy. There's a lot going on. Survivor is so simple. The 3 days, someone gets voted out.
But I think what
It,
makes it more boring, Survivor, is that if you have the majority, you can just run the game.
I think
Big
it can.
Brother, anyone can win an HOH.
I agree, but that I find that interesting about Survivor is you can dominate. Like
Yeah, but it's less fun to
not
watch sometimes.
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
My argument is that like you could watch a fucking basketball game and it's boring because like the team is fucking owning, or like
Hmm.
football, like they take a 30-point lead in the fucking first quarter and like that's it.
Hmm.
But like you can do that in Survivor, but like there's so many different ways it can go. I think it's such a smart, like honestly, like the game Survivor, I think deserves to be brought up with like baseball as like great games ever
Bill
created.
Simmons has called the challenge the fifth national
I
sport.
know, which is ridiculous. Um, but like it's just not that's not what it is anymore. It's
Hmm.
so insane and unwieldy and uh overwrought and over designed,
Hmm. Going overproduced. Yeah. Over
overproduced. Yeah.
Jeffed. He makes it too much what he wants to see
It's
rather than
weird. It's like when I was a kid, um, they had this thing on MTV called Rock and Jock.
okay.
Okay. And they get like rock stars and jocks to play games. And it would be like rock and jock baseball or rock and jock basketball usually. And they sort of the setup of it was like NBA Jam. Like there'd be like little mini challenges and like it was
You
like
could catch fire at a certain point.
yeah, there was
Oh,
it was like a silly fun version of baseball and basketball,
right.
and like you can do that if it's just like a stupid MTV thing with like celebrities, but like when it's the actual thing, like I wouldn't if the MLB put those rules in place or the NBA, I'd be like, this is crazy. This league is jumping the shark.
Right. I learned the
Um,
other day that that's from Happy Days.
I know, I told you that.
I think people said this moment was where Survivor jumped the shark. The moment where we had the Chiron of all what everybody had.
Honestly, no,
This
no. It,
moment.
it jumped the shark in 41, but this is like the show telling you, look how much we've jumped the shark.
In case you missed it, guys, we just jumped the
Yeah,
shark a few seasons ago.
yeah.
Yeah. You're right. This would be like what we would do for like the challenge all stars, not the challenge. We wouldn't do this for the normal show. This would be the rules for the spin-off version.
Not even the challenge all stars. The challenge all stars is purer than this. It'd be the challenge
Champs
USA.
stars.
That
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
champs versus stars. Exactly.
Yeah, this they fucked it too soon. But I think COVID really accelerated it and ruined things. I think that's really
No,
when we started doing less days and stuff.
no, of
We just never
course.
went back, which is what we probably should have done.
Yeah, they realize that they can make the show um for less money, less fewer
Our
days.
lives are better doing it this way. Why would we
A-
ever go back the other way?
right, right. And they're getting basically the same rating.
Are they? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Damn. We're gonna show up. I'm gonna show up. I'm part of the problem. We gotta stop
I
showing up.
I
No, then I'll just
did.
cancel.
I fucking did, bro.
But I don't want it to cancel.
I do.
Come
Because you know
on. No, you
what'll
don't.
happen?
No, you
No,
don't.
no, I would love for them to cancel Survivor because it would set up a reboot. It'd be canceled for 3 4 years, and then they'd bring it back as a Paramount Plus exclusive show, and they'd be doing 39 days again.
With Parvati hosting.
Yeah,
That would be the best show ever. On what? On Paramount Plus, though?
yeah. It might air on CBS.
But on Paramount Plus, it'd be cool because you can do some episodes. Like you could do whatever the episode needs, however long the
Yeah,
episode needs. If it
yeah,
needs to be an hour and 7 minutes, then it's an hour and 7 minutes. If it needs to be 58 minutes, it's 58 minutes, you know?
right.
That would be cool. Um, yeah, I agree with all that. I like this part. We all get to the same beach and we're talking like Cody's just the craziest guy ever. He got those beads and was like putting it on a hat. I think you brought this up last episode
Yeah.
that they
And
learned.
meanwhile, Ellie's like,
He did what now?
her
Yeah, that was very funny.
eyes pop.
Yeah. And Janine was like, ow, my shin. What happened? I wonder what happened. That was not there day one.
Well, that happens sometimes on Survivor. Like
I want to know though.
in Survivor All Stars, Jenna Lewis has a crazy scar on her forehead like the entire season.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I had a thought that I think Survivor 50 is like about done filming.
yeah. They're. I mean, I know they're there now.
I think they're like have a couple days left.
They're starting to like do.
They're doing the fire making challenge right
No, no.
now.
I'm saying they're doing. I was reading like the Hollywood Reporter, and they're starting to do a lot of like Emmy promotional interviews and shit. And like there was like a side mention like Mike White is not available for interviews right now because he's in fucking Fiji doing Survivor.
That means he's still in the game.
Not necessarily. It could be a Ponderosa.
Yeah, yeah. Good thing we don't have a Vetus who comes back because he got voted out first. And he's like, I'll
Did
do
he?
interviews. Yeah, and that's why he wasn't invited to like the reunion and stuff.
Fucking Vetus. Vetus is a good character.
Was Vetus like making people uncomfortable in the second season? Was that like a thing about him? I feel
Maybe.
like there was like a thing with Abby Maria or something. She didn't like
Oh.
Vetus. You don't like Abby Maria?
No, no, I like Abby Marie, but she was recently complaining about like they talked to me for months for 50 and then they ghosted me.
I love Abby Maria, but I did not need her on the next season. I feel like we
No,
saw
nor
her
did
come
I.
back and she did exactly what she did on Philippines just
Yeah,
again. We got it. It was
yeah.
good.
I've seen enough Abby Maria.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd love to be Pete and have seen more
Oh
Abby
yeah.
Maria.
You want like Abby Maria's OnlyFans page?
No, no, no. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
No. Remember Pete?
Rather have RCs, frankly. Yeah, of course, Pete
No.
Yurkowski.
He would have been cool to bring back. Not for 50, but for like the second chances. If he was on there, I would have voted for him
I
probably.
agree. I agree.
He was really cool. And the
Mhm.
fact he was with Abby Maria afterward like elevated his status to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, they could have done a blood versus water with this.
Ooh, that would have been good. They did have boyfriend girlfriends. We had Kat and Hayden,
Yeah,
but then she didn't make the merge, so he dumped her ass because she wasn't dateable anymore.
I
Remember
still
that?
think about that. Like when
Yeah.
someone gets voted out right before the merge, I still it still occurs to me like, oh, they're not dateable.
Ellie, not dateable. What
Yeah.
about if you're Dwight, where he made the merge, didn't make the jury?
Mm, you have to do some hard thinking about that.
Do I really want to date someone who made the merge, but not the? How much Riz do they have? It really comes down to that.
Not much, man.
You don't think Dwight's got the Riz?
No.
Damn, I like Dwight honestly. Dwight seems like a real nice guy, cool guy.
Look, look.
Oh, he's doing the Riz face. That's the Riz face. I haven't seen the little Rizzler in a bit since like the Julia Louis Dreyfus photo with him at
Oh
the
yeah, I forgot. That was
the
great.
premiere of whatever that was.
Yeah.
That was the last time I saw him. That's pretty sad. Uh, so we go. What happened? Oh, we go to immunity challenge. We split everybody back up into the two teams. No hourglass twist though. We
Oh
cut that
yeah.
out.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I agree. But Noelle is left out. She gets to pick what team she wants to back, basically. You've got the blue team, which is Gabler, Jesse, Carla, Ryan, Dwight, and Janine. And then
Who
you have the,
won?
yeah, they win.
They
I would
were
have,
they were losing the whole time, and then they won at the end. And when she made that choice, I was like, wrong choice. I'd have
same,
gone red,
same,
and she ended up being right.
same. But her and Jeff were like, this is such a hard decision. They're
And I was like,
too,
what are you talking about? No, red's better.
I felt the same way, honestly. And I think probably bad by me, but I was like, Blue has Gabler, the old guy, and Carla, who like probably not the least athletic of everybody. I was like, I would
Is
clearly
that is
pick
that
the
the
other.
nice way of saying the fat one?
That was a very nice way of saying that.
Uh-huh.
You're not as nice as me. Uh, but Red, they had Ellie, Cassidy, Sammy, Owen, James, Cody. That I thought that team was stacked, but they
Yeah.
lost. I agree with you. I'm glad you said that. And so Blue win. Noelle, she's also safe. We go to a feast. This is where Gabler throws Ellie under the bus. Very fun
Yeah.
moment there. Janine's like looking at the camera, all scared, like, "What? What did he just do?"
Janine. Fucking everybody else though, pretty much everyone at that table gave like a talking head. Like I could not believe when Gabler said that. That was like mind blowing.
but
And
but none of them were against Gabler. They were all against
no, I know.
Ellie.
I thought they were at first, like
No,
when they were doing those talking heads, and then like it slowly dawned on me, like, oh, they are on Gabler's side. Wow, he
but
pulled that off. That turned out to be like a really good move.
I think if someone they would you imagine someone going through your bag in that moment, and you're like, I don't want that. That's horrible. Well, I don't know if I would even do that on Survivor.
Oh, my bags have been gone through plenty recently.
Well, you're not on Survivor though. Imagine you're on Survivor, someone's going through your bag. Would you be offended by that?
Um, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would too. So
Mhm.
I get where they're coming from. And then Ellie goes up to Gabler. She was so bad. Like she just thinks Gabler's an idiot. Like she goes to
Yeah,
Gabler afterward.
that
Like
really is her downfall.
it's
Is
awful.
she just believes she's smarter than he is.
I think that's like a bad thing. That's like a like of all the flaws to have on Survivor, that's pretty
That
damning. That's
might be a flaw I have.
possibly you think
Yeah,
you're smarter than everybody,
yeah.
especially a religious person.
Oh yeah.
If you're religious, you just cannot be smarter than Daniel. No matter what other things you've accomplished in your life, if you believe in God, you're immediately dumber than Daniel. That's the thing
It's
you believe.
really, I mean, yes, but like it's really more egregious if like I know you like actively go to church and stuff because then you're like wasting time on it.
Yeah.
You know what? We did this. There was a group here where we were talking about fears, right?
Hmm.
And everyone had to write their biggest fear on a slip of paper, drop it into a thing, and then we all picked them out randomly and like went through them. So it was like anonymous, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
Fear is anonymous. I love it.
yeah, and one of them, and then like they asked for everyone's like feedback, like how can we overcome this fear or whatever. One of the fears was fear of the afterlife, not knowing whether you're gonna get into heaven or hell.
And you
And
wanted to say something.
I did.
Or
I
you
I
did say something?
I said just out loud to the whole group, like I wouldn't worry too much.
Whoever you are, stop worrying about that.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
God damn.
Yeah,
You probably tell who it was by looking around the room whose face dropped. Like
I
who
did
got
look
took
around.
most
I
offense
couldn't
to that.
tell. I couldn't tell, but I also super didn't care.
Yeah. That's their
Yeah.
biggest fear. That is nuts. Imagine that being your
Mhm.
biggest fear. That's
There's
not even a thought
also
I've ever had.
there's also another person who like uh was like a fear of large groups of people who are only gathering because they're afraid of something they heard on TV. And
I like that answer. That's kind of a good answer.
it was really a reference. I think it was written by a conservative person who was referencing like the ICE
Oh shit.
um protests in California. And but I turned it on its head, Logan. I said to and this got no laughs whatsoever because
You're
like
going for laughs.
not 90% of the people here are fucking
That's
conservative.
hilarious.
Okay. So but like my response to that one was like, yeah, I agree. January 6th was weird.
Your response to that one, you got
Yeah.
responses to all their little quips to all their little fears.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good answer though. That is terrifying when people just blindly are that afraid of something they get
Yeah. No,
together.
January 6th was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's good. Why are they all conservative? I guess Vegas, that maybe that's our
It,
answer. Vegas is a more conservative place.
it's just I'm used to being from New York where you just assume someone's liberal until you find out otherwise.
Yeah.
It's not that way here. Like we're in the Southwest. Like there's a lot of Trump support here.
Is it more
There,
like when you meet somebody you're 50-50, or you assume more they're a Trump person?
it's really 50-50. But like there was another group where they were giving us like would you rather questions.
Hmm.
And one of the
Would you rather
questions,
win and be hated or lose and be loved? That was a Jeff Schroeder question.
it's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, Big Jeff. But no, one of them was would you rather meet George Washington or the current president? And so
Okay.
many people raised their hand for the current president. And then I raised my hand for the current president too. And I said, only if I'm armed.
That's the only right answer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be so cool to meet George Washington.
Yeah.
Take a
Check out his
picture.
wooden teeth.
That's
Ask him
true
whether
too.
that cherry tree thing was real.
Yeah. Didn't he have a wife?
Martha.
Martha Washington.
She was a hip lady. That's why I'm
Really?
confused and confused.
That's
George would
funny.
get home and Martha would have a fat bowl waiting
Oh,
for him right
totally. Totally.
there.
That's awesome. Anyway, I forgot where we were at. Oh, we got to a puzzle. Oh, there were two teams. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blue won. They went to the feast. We got to that. Oh, Janine says she might play her idol on Ellie. She did not end up doing that. And Ellie went home.
You
The
don't see
votes
that a lot anymore.
playing an idol for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's true. When's the last time we even had that? Oh, last season actually. At the end of last
Oh,
season, Mike played his idol for Marianne. Remember, he told her like if we vote together, I'll because then at the final tribal, she was like, I have this idol I didn't have to play because Mike played his idol on me. She sort of
was
like,
it the last possible time they could play an idol
I
though?
believe it was.
I think that's the only time you see it anymore.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Makes sense. Make people are very selfish.
Yeah, I know people are, and only getting more selfish. I mean, a move like Parvati giving the idols to Sandra and Jerry, that just won't happen anymore.
There has to be one after this, but the last one I can think of is Second Chances. Jeremy plays an idol for Steven.
Yeah, well, second chance, it's those are vets and those are people that know the
They
game
know the
really
value of an
well. And
idol.
yeah, yeah.
And that was before the knowledge is power, where you can steal an idol, and now it's all crazy. You wouldn't play an idol
Mhm.
for somebody else. And then Ellie stands up on her way
Yeah,
out of the.
in effect, adding more fucking twists is making them more conservative as players.
Yes, this has been a thing talked about for a long time, actually. More on Big Brother when they add these twists, players become scared. They don't want to make big moves because they think it'll backfire on them. So they're like, I'll do the safest thing possible, and that'll just get me to tomorrow.
And isn't that antithetical to what they want out of these twists?
It is. Absolutely. Maybe they should take a look at that.
Maybe they should.
Ellie stands up. She says, "You guys see what trusting Gabler is going to get you." That's what she says on her way out the game.
Right back at you.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I understand that. Like, she betrayed Gabler. She went through his bag and like shit on him all the time. Why is he supposed to be loyal to you? She really rubbed me the wrong way on her way out. I feel like I was a
get it.
fan her first time too, but
Well,
not
there's whatever strong. They went into the merge saying they're going to be what
yeah,
VC strong or whatever it is.
Vessi. There's Baka,
Vessi.
Coco, Vessi.
Okay.
I don't know which one they were. But all right, episode 7 is called Bull in a China Shop. Forgot what that was referring to. But we learned the phrase alligabler. Gabler says he was like that little alligabler came up to the surface and took a look around, and then now I'm going back down to the bottom.
That's good stuff.
Alligabler. All right. And more
What's Gabler's
tree.
first name?
I got it right here.
Yeah, look
But
that up.
Mike, another Mike.
Mike Gabler.
Mike Gabler. Yep.
Yeah, Gabler's better. I like that he went with the last name.
You they call him that like in the emergency room? Probably.
I don't know.
Gabler.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I don't know. Mike's quicker. You got to be on your toes in the emergency room.
That doesn't sound like a name, Gabler. It sounds like a machine. Can
Well,
you give me that
they say
Gabler
it
over
would
there?
be Doctor Gabler.
Oh, Dr. Gabler. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Gabler is really cool. But
Mhm.
doesn't it sound like it would be like a tool? Can you hand me that
Yeah.
Gabler?
Yeah, like a thresher.
What's a thresher?
That's that thing. It's like a farm tool. It's what's used to kill Jason at the end of the 2009 remake.
Oh wow, thresher.
Mhm.
I know a thresher shark. Isn't that a thing?
That's a thrasher shark, I believe.
Thrasher. God damn it. Damn.
Mhm.
You're right. So we have to. Tree Mail says split into 6 different pairs, and we don't want to pick, so we end up drawing rocks. Whose strategy was that? Who initially
Uh,
brought that up?
Drawing rocks. I
Yep.
think it was probably Pascal.
Great job.
Thank you.
It was Cassidy. Shout out to
Okay.
Cassidy. All right, and then we go to immunity challenge. This was fun. We've got 3 different stages. First stage, you spin around in a net, something I've never fucking seen before. Wasn't that crazy? Get
Yeah,
in a
you
net
have
and
to
just
do
spin around a
like
million
a
times.
big barrel roll.
The alligabler
The
death
alligator.
roll.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, that is what it is.
It was nuts. And
Mhm.
we had a few people like almost die in there. We had to go get them. Who did
Well,
we have to go
Noelle
get?
fucking her leg got caught.
She had
She
to
had to
take it
take off
off.
her leg.
And Carla, those 2 got stuck in the net. And then second thing, you had to go build a rope bridge, and that was fun. I guess not Carla, because Carla made it to the second round because she fell off the rope bridge. I thought that was a fun moment. And then part 3, hold your body weight on the little buckets. Oh, that was like I was riding a motorcycle. Vroom, vroom. But
Oh
you
yeah.
like pull it up.
Yeah.
I always like that when it falls and they start to pull it back up. I'm like, whoa, they got it. They got that strength.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
sometimes they start to try to do that and like they quickly realize like, oh, I
Cody,
not have the
a
forearm
certain
strength
point.
for that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
Owen maybe who else was in there?
Owen, yeah, Owen
Yeah.
definitely. Gabler just kept doing it though. But
Mhm.
we get the pairs. We've got Owen and Gabler, Cody and Dwight, Noelle and Sammy, Ryan and James, Jesse and Janine, and Cassidy and Carla. Really haven't heard a lot about Jesse, have we? Haven't
Who's
talked to
Jesse?
exactly. He's the one who like had the tattoo on his head. They got removed. We haven't heard a lot about him since
He's
that.
the gang member.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ex gang member
Well, I'm at least aware of him. Like when he shows up on Scream.
on Scream, Scream
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. I'm like,
It's Jay, Silent Bob, and Jesse.
no, no, but I'm like that's that gang guy.
Okay, but you just don't know him by name. Well, hopefully at
Yeah,
this point you know everybody. Like we only have 10 people left.
yeah, I think I do at this point.
Yeah. So part 1, who cares who? But I hated Jeff making such a big moment out of that. We're like,
I
wow, you
know.
guys helped them. It was like Jeff. It was real shades of Suri crossing the Brit, crossing that thing that one time, and I didn't like that either. But then part two, who cares? Part three, this is the most exciting part of the challenge. So Gabler gives his shout outs. He says, Uncle Neil, who had heart surgery, I'll do 1 minute for Uncle Neil. That was great. And then he does
And
a
Jeff's
minute.
like, I love that you're doing minute by minute.
I like that too.
Like,
That's
I
so
honestly
unique.
don't think Gabler would have kept doing that if Jeff didn't say that.
I don't
Jeff was
know.
like, keep this going. This is good TV.
But it was actually like no one
Yeah.
had ever done that before. A minute for Noel, a minute for this guy Lester Tenney, who was a war hero, a prisoner of war for many years. His family thought he died. It was a real castaway
Oh,
situation.
right. His wife had gotten remarried and shit.
Yeah, wasn't that like
That's
Castaway?
wild. Yeah, no, that's exactly like Castaway.
That's nuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he had to start a new life. Fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
That
Uh,
stands in that crossroad at the end of the movie. Literal crossroad. Just
Yeah,
wondering what the fuck to do.
the first few times I saw that movie, I didn't like that he got back and like everything in the States. But now like
You
that's
wanted it to be a
what
happy ending.
I don't know about a happy ending. I just didn't know if I liked that. But now that's what makes the movie. That's
Yeah.
so good. Freaking love
It's
that.
challenging. I
So
appreciate
unique.
that. Zemeckis would never do that ending today.
No, now he would find Morwen on the side of the road and hang out with Morwen.
Marwin, first of all,
What am I
and
saying?
Morwin.
Oh, I'm just saying Morwen instead of
I
Marwen.
never saw that one. I only
Me
saw the
either.
documentary that it was based on.
That's a real story.
Oh yeah, Marwin Call, great documentary. Check it out. But
Marwen call, like margin
yeah.
call.
Well, no, it's like Marwencol.
Oh,
Yeah. Um. Anyway, yeah, but that was a really cool documentary that they just like turned into like a
Steve Carell movie.
sloppy, shitty Hollywood
That Steve
bullshit.
Carell was trying to win Oscars at that part.
I
Bad. He
know.
had the
I
Timothy
know.
Chalamet movie.
Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher. That was a little early
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Foxcatcher was kind of good. Have you seen that?
I prefer the documentary, but
Oh,
yeah, beautiful boy as well. He was really good. I just watched that Netflix show, The Four Seasons, here in rehab,
and
and he
that
was
movie he was in recently, right?
what?
Succession movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, Mountainhead. Yeah, I guess I've been seeing a lot of Steve Carell recently.
You know which one you got to watch? Crazy Stupid Love.
I've seen it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, watch it again.
Saw it in theaters.
Watch it again. Oh, you're so lucky. Damn.
I
That was like one of the early times I saw Ryan Gosling. That's pretty embarrassing, I guess. That's kind of late, but no, I guess The Notebook was obviously the first time I saw him.
I'd known Ryan Gosling for 10 years at that point. The first time I saw Ryan
I'm
Gosling, well,
13.
I saw that movie The Believer when it aired on Showtime,
Yeah.
where he plays like a neo-Nazi.
There's one where he's a killer. What's that one where he kills his wife, Kirsten Dunst?
All Good Things.
All good things.
That's still late though. That's like 2010. That's coming
Yeah.
up on my watch list.
Oh, wow, you haven't seen that one?
I've never seen it, but I added it last time I watched The Jinx.
Oh yeah, it's Durst. I forgot,
Mhm.
I forgot about that. It's good, yeah. I like that. And then he gives a shout out to his dog, Idaho, Alaska, some Navy SEAL buddies he went to high school with, and then his old roommate Muzzy. So there we go.
Does he? He sounds like a good time.
And Cody, we say, Cody, what are you doing this for? He says, I lost a high school wrestling match.
This was depressing. This was straight up fucking
I-
a bummer.
Foxcatcher action here a little bit, right? He lost the match and he's been regretting it
But
ever since.
how old is Cody? He's got to be in his like around my age.
I think he's mid 30s, but I think he's living a good life. He's living in Hawaii. Like he's
I
probably living
know,
fine.
but like he said, like it's something he thinks about like every day. Like
Yeah, that was
really,
crazy to
the
me.
fucking high school wrestling match you
How
lost.
different is your life if you win
You
that match,
yeah,
really?
you gotta let that go, dude.
Yeah. Maybe he just like I would have fucked the cheerleader that night. But then it never happened because I lost. And my rival did it instead.
You could play the sympathy card. Still fuck the cheerleader.
Yeah. Let's say that guy got a cheap shot. try to reverse it, say that
Did
guy
he
only
say
won.
that?
No,
Oh
that's what
no,
I would
that's what
say.
you have to say. Yeah,
Yeah, he only won because he held my arm behind my back or something.
yeah.
But they end up breaking the record. The previous record for this challenge is 25 minutes, which seems very short. They've been doing this challenge for a long time.
Yeah, but I feel like this is one of those endurance challenges that doesn't usually last that long. Like
I
people,
think I would break the record because I weigh like
of,
140
of
pounds.
course you think
I
that.
weigh so little that I think I would
Yeah,
be
but do
able
you
to do.
have that strength in your
I
forearms?
think I would do a good job. I think I'd be pretty good at it.
I don't feel like I'd be good at this one. I'm willing to admit that.
It's a very specific type of thing. And it
Hmm.
is hard. But I remember like in Philippines, I remember like Carter, didn't Carter win this one? Like this
Yeah.
this goes back a while. How
So
is it
like
only 25
Malcolm
minutes?
didn't last 25 minutes. You think you're gonna last 25 minutes?
Yes. No. I mean, I don't know. Malcolm probably got second place. I don't remember that.
Probably.
But they got 38 minutes.
Carter. Here's my impression of Carter. Look, it's me, Carter. Oh, hi guys. Uh,
I remember one time he wanted sauces at a reward
can I
challenge.
can I have some sauces?
I don't know if that's really how he was. You're making him sound
Uh, Carter was like the closest you can get to being R word without being R word on Survivor.
whoa. Is that true? That can't be true.
Yeah.
Damn. This was crazy. I don't know about how I felt about this. They just put an advantage in the water well. They're just like, here, guys, find this advantage. I'm gonna throw it in there. So it's an advantage under the shelter. And so James goes and
Oh
finds
yeah.
it. How do they let James be at the shelter all by himself? Like at that point where he finds it, James, it seems like he just walked over and found it. I didn't
Yeah.
understand what was happening. I was like, where is everybody? But anyway, so James gets it, and then everyone knows about it. So everyone starts swapping idols and stuff because he gets the knowledge is power. So they give their advantage to you and you and you, and Dwight ends up getting hold of Janine's idol. And
Did you
Dwight,
notice? Did you notice his voice?
which one? Dwight?
Was it Dwight?
Who?
Remember, I was saying the other day when we were doing the show, there was one of the black dudes, like his voice, like it had descended into gravel.
Oh, I think that's James. Earlier when I was trying to describe
James, that's
him,
exactly right. Yeah.
I said, yeah, because I don't think that well, Dwight has the lisp. I keep thinking every episode you're gonna jump on that. You never do. And
Hmm.
now he's gone, so you're not, and he's not on the jury, so you're never gonna get that ever again.
I'll never think about him ever again for the rest of my life.
Oh, damn, that's fair. We go to tribal council. Jeff, for some reason, mentioned Jaws.
Oh
Cody
yeah, and
like
he does a
describes.
really bad impression of
Yeah, he's like, I can't even do it bad because it
yeah,
just comes natural to me
it,
to
it,
do.
it should come natural to everybody.
How do you do it bad? Do a bad
Yeah,
version of that. Bump bump.
that's literally what it is. Jeff is like, oh, it's like Jaws, bop bop.
It's awful. Yeah, that was really weird. And I feel like Cody was like no selling it too. He was like, it's not really like that, Jeff, but whatever, sure. And the votes come in. I feel like I did not understand why Dwight went home either. It was not set up well why Dwight went home.
Well, someone was targeting him.
I think it was Cody and Jesse.
Yeah,
They thought he was going to come after them.
right. Was the whole thing. It like they voted out Dwight to protect Cody, really, ostensibly, but no one was really coming after Cody.
Right.
Mm.
So it was hard to set up. I feel like it was very sudden. But the votes are we have James, Dwight, Ryan, James, Dwight, Ryan, Dwight. So sorry to Dwight. And Janine the whole time. Did you catch this? Janine's like reaching back, touching Dwight's leg. I think she's trying to like, Dwight, give me my idol back. Because he has her idol. He's about to go home with
Oh,
her idol.
yeah, I didn't notice that. But then we find out in the next episode,
Well, I
Logan.
didn't.
Well, I'm an episode ahead of you. That Dwight didn't actually have her idol.
No, where is it?
Yeah, on the way to tribal, he passed it off to somebody else.
That person can keep
And
it.
he does.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah, that's really good.
That is good. Yeah, not because she has no idea.
Mhm.
Damn. What happened to her chin? I really don't know what happened. Every time I see her, I'm like, what the hell happened? Anyway, so we did lose your winner, Ellie. Do you have a new winner pick?
Give me the list of people that are left.
Okay. We've got Noelle, Janine.
I'm gonna give you percentages for all of them. All
Well,
right.
this
These are the
better equal 100%.
no, no, no. These are just the percent chance that they have to win.
Okay, Noelle,
30%,
Janine,
10%,
Cody.
60%.
Wow. Ryan.
Who's that?
He was the one that was born with cerebral palsy. Now he's like real big and muscular. Ryan.
I don't
He was
remember
friends with
this
Geo.
person.
It's hard to
Yeah.
describe him. He's hard to describe.
All right. I'll go 30%.
Wow. Uh, James. I don't think I said James. The one with the gravelly voice.
40%.
So nobody's beat Cody so far.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Oh, we have Jesse James. Team
Oh,
Rocket blasting off at the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Meow, that's right.
exactly that. From Pokemon, right?
Yeah. Who's Jesse?
Jesus Christ, he's the gang guy. You don't know
Oh, the
Jesse.
gang guy, right. 30%.
I feel like we didn't talk about much about Sammy this week, besides him telling Gabler that they gave the idol.
Yeah, Sammy just all his allies are going home.
True.
I'll give
We
him
got
20.
Ellie voted out. That's pretty good. He didn't like Ellie very much.
Yeah, I know, but
And
I think he could
Janine
have used
next week.
I think he could have used them both as numbers.
That's a good point. Yeah. So no percentage on Sammy.
20.
20%. Carla.
Maybe she's my winner pick.
I like Carla. She's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give her 65%.
I love it. Yeah, that's it. I would agree with that. Yeah. And then Cassidy,
40.
Gabler.
60. I think Gabler on par with Cody.
I agree. Carla a little bit above. And then
Mm.
last, but probably not least, is Owen.
Oh, no chance.
So he's least.
15%.
Why? Why so down on Owen?
I mean he's another one. Like his allies have gone home. The people he's working with now have like only known him since like 2 days ago. I just don't see it for him.
That's fair, actually. I'm looking at the list. Like the only person I feel worse than Owen is probably Ryan. Like everyone
Oh,
else, I feel better. Like James, Noel, Sammy, Cody, Carla, Cassidy, Gabler. I feel better about all those people. Jesse. Um, so who is going to be the next week? We start the jury. Who do you think is going to be that person voted out? First juror.
I think Janine.
Oh, good call. Good call there. That sucks making the merge, but not the jury.
I
Sucks for
know.
Dwight.
I'd be really disappointed. That would be like my least favorite spot to be in the whole game.
You get the experience though of of making the merge. I think I'd want to go as far as I can.
It'd
I
be a
think that's
bummer.
the goal, obviously.
Well, of course. All right. So next week we'll do 8, 9, and 10.
Yep.
And we got Mummy Monday tomorrow. And also we got some other shit coming up. Angel. Big
Angel.
Angel week this week. Check that out. And yeah, stay tuned.
25 pilots at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when. But yeah,
Should we
please
should we
stay
only do
tuned.
21 so we could reference that band?
Yep. Let's please do that. Are you a fan of them?
No.
You know what I
Although,
first
although a listener of the podcast, I don't remember which one. I wish I could right now. Told me that don't judge them on their hits, which I only know their hits.
yeah.
He said he thinks that I would really get into them, and he gave me like some recommendations, and I was gonna listen to them, and I never fucking did. And I'm sorry to whoever that is
Damn. That's
if they're out
crazy.
there listening. If you just heard that, Send me those recs again. I'm in rehab. I got nothing else to do.
That's good advice. I didn't know that about them. I feel like I
Hmm.
really first heard about them during Suicide Squad. I feel like they were really heavy on that soundtrack, right?
They had that. I heard them. They had that hit "Stressed Out," so
Stressed
stressed
out.
out, and I hated that fucking song. But I'm willing to be proved wrong on band. Like a lot of bands have like shitty singles, and like then you dig deeper, and like some of their shit's good.
Of course. Yeah, Heathens looks like was from Suicide Squad. So
It sounds like an Imagine Dragons song.
I feel like thought they were similar. They're probably not. I don't know. But all right. Anything else, Daniel?
Hate one another.